Hey there, everyone. It's Melanie Hesketh here, and I wanted to hop on and give you an info-packed video with my top 10 food upgrades. And I'm going to call it upgrades because I'm a food lover, and growing up, we ate a lot of packaged foods. We did the best we could. My mom did the best we could. We used to grow up on things like fried bologna and Kraft macaroni and cheese because that's what we had. But over the years of becoming a nutritionist, I had to learn how to upgrade my food. And that's a great way of saying I had to learn how to make good substitutions. Instead of saying I'm eliminating certain foods, I'm actually just making better, healthier, nutritious substitutions. So today I want to fill you on my top 10. But before I get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Melanie Hesketh. I'm the owner of Solera Holistic Health. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, a live cell analyst, a certified metabolic balance coach, and a RubyMed practitioner. So my first food swap, my first food upgrade. A lot of us, we start eating healthy, and one of the first things that we start doing is eating a lot more salads, which is great. We need to eat our vegetables. But one of the things that we can swap out and upgrade is the store-bought salad dressings. Things like this one here. When you read the ingredients, this is the ingredient list on the bottle. And the third ingredient on the list is corn syrup. The second ingredient is canola and soybean oil. So those are genetically modified. We really shouldn't be eating those. And why are we having corn syrup in something that we're putting on our salads? So it's really not necessary. So a good upgrade is to buy a good organic olive oil. So you're getting your good fats, and mix it with apple cider vinegar and add some salt and pepper. So this is an organic apple cider vinegar. I generally buy the Bragg's. I prefer that one, but I was at Costco and running out of time, so I bought this. They had it, was organic, and it has the mother in it. So if you get an organic apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, you know that you're getting the fermented part of the vinegar, so it's great for your gut microbiome. And if you prefer to use a different vinegar, balsamic vinegar is another alternative as well. So you can doctor up this quick dressing by just adding like salt and pepper. You could add some garlic, throw it in the blender. You could even add a little bit of mustard. And I generally do about half and half. 50% would be the oil and 50% would be the apple cider vinegar. But some people do like 75% oil and 25% vinegar. So you just make it as tangy as you want. So that's number one. Number two swap. If you're a coffee lover and you can't seem to give up the sugar in your coffee, why not try adding some cinnamon? Cinnamon is going to add a really great flavor to the coffee, and if you buy a really good, like a Ceylon or a Ceylon, I never know how to say it, that cinnamon actually has a sweeter taste to it and lots of good nutrients to it. Cinnamon can also be used on yogurt. If you buy plain yogurt without sugar added to it, add a little cinnamon to it. Your oatmeal as well. It's great to speed up your metabolism and regulate your blood sugar as well. Number three, any pop lovers out there? Anybody like soda pop out there? I'm personally not a fan. I've never been a big pop drinker, but one thing I've recently found is sparkling water. So I actually bought a soda machine for my husband for Christmas, and I'm finding that I'm using it more for myself. It's just plain water, and you add it to the machine. You just, have the machine bubble it up, and it's a great alternative to pop because it's still got that fizziness, but there's no calories to it. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you replace all your water with a sparkling water, but certainly it does count towards your water intake for the day. If you're still not quite there and you need a little bit of flavor, then certainly you could get into some sparkling waters with a little bit of flavor to it. Just be careful, that there's no sugar added. All right, next tip I'm going to give you, mayonnaise. Any other people out there like me who I'm a diehard mayonnaise person? I grew up on mayo. I love mayo. I love the creaminess of it. If I were to make like an egg salad sandwich or a tuna sandwich, I would put like 2 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise in it. Do you have any idea how many calories are in 1 tablespoon? 1 tablespoon is 100 calories. And so if you're trying to watch your waistline, it's certainly not helping to be using that much mayonnaise. That's what I was doing. I was getting at least probably 300 calories in mayonnaise just for like 1 egg salad sandwich. So a really good alternative if you're doing like an egg salad sandwich or even other places where you might add mayonnaise is to use avocado. Avocado is high in the good fats that are going to help to keep you full longer, loaded with lots of nutrients. And usually I'll use about a half of an avocado and mix it in with my 2 eggs. And then I'll put those eggs on either my 100% rye bread or rice crackers, or I should say rice cakes. So that's a really good alternative. Now, if you're doing something like tuna, then mustard is a great replacement. And with the mustard, in 1 teaspoon, let's see, there's no sugar and there's no calories. So it's a no-brainer. It'll give it some good flavor. You can get all different types of mustards. Some of them are hot now as well. So if you like spicy, mustard is another great replacement for mayonnaise. All right. So along with mayonnaise, I also used to be like a huge, I guess I still am a huge sour cream person. I love creamy stuff. I don't know why, it's just my thing. So one of the things that I've learned to do is replace it with, instead of using sour cream, replace it with a good yogurt. This isn't my typical yogurt that I buy, but my husband's been away, so I have been short on time, running the house without him here. I miss him, but he's coming home soon. And so this is one that I picked up at Costco. Typically, I will buy a 3.8% higher fat yogurt, and I like to buy organic. This one is not organic, but it's okay for this week. So when you use the yogurt instead of using sour cream, you're going to still get that creaminess, but what you'll find is you're going to get the good probiotics, and it's still going to satisfy you though. So it's a really good replacement for sour cream. Ice cream, guys. This is all my favorite stuff. No wonder why I chose these as my favorite swaps. I love ice cream. Since I was a child, I don't know, it's one of my absolute favorite things. It's very difficult for me to keep ice cream in the house because once it's there, I'll just keep eating it. So I don't deprive myself. I do treat myself at times. I'll buy Haagen-Dazs, or sometimes I'll buy, like Moose Tracks, or even I'll make my own ice cream. I do have an ice cream maker as well. But when you're in a pinch and you want to make that healthier substitution without all the sugar, without all the extras, one of my favorite things is to take banana, and you can find all sorts of recipes on the internet, but I like to take banana. You'll freeze bananas, and then you'll mix a little bit of coconut milk with it. I like to add some cocoa and a scoop of a nut butter, like an almond butter. So it's like a chocolate peanut butter ice cream. It's a really good, nice cream. And if you have dairy intolerance, there's no dairy in it. It's coconut milk. So it's absolutely easy to make. You can make it in your blender or in your food processor, and there's no sugar added. It's just the natural sugars from the banana. So I find it very satisfying, and you don't have that sugar craving after because there's no sugar there to really, get that taste bud going. That's not going to shut down now because how sugar is so addictive. So next substitution, where are we at now? I'm not sure how many we've said, but I think we're on number 7 here. Butter. Just like my mayonnaise and my sour cream, I love creamy things. I love butter. I really, really love butter. And so to swap that out, one thing that you can do is you can replace it with a ghee. So ghee, I'll just show you there. That's how it's spelled. Ghee is clarified butter. So it's the good fats cooked out of the butter. And research confirms that ghee is a saturated fat that supplies energy. And so it's also very good. The good fats will get you to burn fat. So if you're trying to reduce your waistline, you want to get more fats in your diet. It will keep you full. Research also confirms that ghee aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. So vitamins E, D, E, and K, those are your fat-soluble vitamins. You're going to absorb them better when you have fat in your diet. It's also a good source of vitamin A, which builds strong bones and teeth, promotes healthy skin membranes, and supports and maintains night vision. So ghee is a great alternative to regular butter, and you literally can use it everywhere that you would use butter. It tolerates the high heat, so you can cook with it. You can put it on toast. You can toss your vegetables in it. I'll just warn you, it's stronger tasting than butter, so you don't need as much, which is another bonus. Number 8. How about pasta? Any pasta lovers out there? Now, this is one thing that I can say that isn't necessarily my absolute favorite thing. I enjoy pasta, but I don't really have to have it. But a lot of my clients, when they start on my metabolic balance meal plan, that is one thing that they're so used to eating, they'll often kind of say they miss their pasta. So there's a couple of things that are really easy to do to fulfill that need. Aside from when you have your treat meal, you're going to have pasta on occasion. It's not like you're never going to have it again. But when you're trying to stick to your meal plan and your health goals, one thing that you can do is you can get a spiralizer. So I'll just show you here. So it's got these little pokey things on it, and you just stick like a zucchini in here, and then there's a blade here, and you wind it, and it puts out some zoodles. And so the nice thing with zucchini noodles is there's like, in 1 cup, I think there's 19 calories, whereas in 1 cup of pasta, you're looking at like 200 calories. So there's a lot less calories to it. You're getting more of your vegetables, which we all need. And you're not going to have that heavy, full, tired feeling after, right? So with that, you'll feel more satisfied. And the other thing that you can do as well is you can actually buy these packaged zoodles. These are called zero oodles. And this one is made with black beans. And you can buy other ones that are made with chickpea flour. And there's red lentil flour. So they're noodles that are made with legumes or beans or lentils. So they're high in protein. As an example for this, a quarter of the package, or 50 grams, is going to give you 21 grams of protein. So they're going to keep you full. And again, they're not going to make you feel that tired and bloated look after. So it's a super easy replacement. And even my metabolic balance clients, after their first 2 weeks, they can use the noodles that are made from legumes as long as they are offered on their meal plan. If it's a bean that's offered on their meal plan. I actually remembered I had one other tip that I wanted to share, aside from, I've got two actually that I need to share. So pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? I love it too. Pizza, there's a couple things that you can do to upgrade that. First thing is you can go with the thin crust pizza. The thin crust, obviously, you're getting a thinner crust, so less calories. If you're prone to getting bloating, if you're a little bit gluten intolerant, and of course, if you're celiac, then you shouldn't be eating the regular pizza crust. But if you're a little bit gluten intolerant or just intolerant to the wheat, then the thinner crust you might be able to tolerate better. You won't have that tired feeling after, and you won't have as much bloating, hopefully. Upgrade it even further, if you do know that you have gluten issues, then definitely you would want to recommend, or request, I should say, a gluten-free crust. You're always going to do much better if you're intolerant to gluten just by avoiding gluten altogether. And there's so many of our local pizzerias that offer gluten-free crust, and I'm telling you, they're delicious. So, if you haven't tried them, I would urge you to try that. And you can even take it a step further. Another upgrade you can do is a cauliflower crust. I've actually been seeing lots in the grocery store now where you can buy store-bought pizzas with cauliflower crust, or make it yourself. I don't know if there's any of our local pizzerias that have it yet, but I'm sure if they don't, they're on their way to doing that. Cauliflower crust can be absolutely phenomenal. I myself have made some at home. I've been very pleased with it because you don't have that heaviness after eating it, and it doesn't hurt to get an extra, couple of servings of vegetables with your pizza either. So that is my tip number 9. And my last tip, my very last tip for you today is, if you're like me and you have a sweet tooth. I have always been a sweet tooth kind of person. I prefer sweet over salty. If I'm out and I have the option of having, say, an alcoholic beverage or dessert, I would always go for the dessert over the alcoholic beverage. I love my sweets. and I'm not going to give them up completely, but there are times where you do have to kind of put things into perspective and make choices. And when those choices mean that I have to cut back on my sweets, one of the simplest things that you can do is just have a piece of fruit, especially an apple. Apple is so high in fiber, it's going to make you feel very full and very satisfied. If you have a really sweet apple, it can replace that need for something sweet. So have that after your meal. I actually recommend an apple a day to all my clients because of the fiber content, and it does keep you full. If you want to bump that up even further and you feel like you need something a little bit more with your apple, add a little bit of nut butter, like an almond butter to it. It's absolutely delicious. And the other thing that I'll do instead of like a dessert is frozen mangoes. One of my favorite things, frozen mangoes in general. So these are a big bag from Costco. Go to Costco's, getting a big plug in today. But what we'll do is we'll measure out our servings for the mangoes and just lightly let them thaw. And by letting them thaw just a little bit, they'll have like a creamy texture, and it's a good replacement for ice cream or just anything, you know, that you want to replace something sweet. So guys, those are my top 10. I think it was 10. My top 10 upgrades or swaps to help you to go from, you know, mediocre food choices to much better food choices. I hope you found this video helpful, and please feel free to leave a comment or a thumbs up or a heart if you enjoyed this video. And I hope you all have a great day. We'll chat soon.